right, good evening. I'm Alex St. John. I'm one of the original creators of the DirectX operating system at Microsoft almost 28 years ago, way back when I had hair. Um, I just launched a new technology company with my business partner, Aaron Overton, a childhood friend. We used to play Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu in Alaska when we were growing up. Got trapped together for COVID for a couple of years. We figured we'd make something new and cool and fun. And so it's midnight on the 4th of July, and we are going to try to launch a revolution and free the world of gaming and streaming from dependence on a lot of platforms. I'm going to show you how we do it. So, the technology I'm going to show you, we're launching a new alpha application. We call it the Playcast server. And the Playcast server is just an application built on a new OS kernel that we've created. And this new OS kernel, it's not a big bloated Linux thing, it's just designed for streaming media and gaming. So what it is a family of 5 low-level new Windows operating system drivers: mouse, keyboard, gamepad, video, and audio. And they're running right down there in the operating system level, and we've exposed new APIs to them for applications to call. There'll be an SDK eventually, and those APIs talk to the web. So the weird thing is these are system drivers that the operating system exposes, and they look like web servers to any other browser out there. That sounds like a crazy idea. It is. Let me show you what it can do. So this evening, this is my I've been spent the last 2 years building tech with Open Broadcast Studio, and this is the first time I've ever actually used it for anything other than testing. So this will be fun, and I'm already discovering that streamers have a really hard job. This is quite a pain in the butt. So I'm hoping that everybody gets an idea what this technology can do, and somebody comes along with a lot more talent and experience than me and produces better demos of this than I have done. But this will be my first attempt. So happy 4th of July, everybody, and wish me luck on pulling this demo off. Okay, so this is my Windows desktop here. You can see it up there. And I'm using Open Broadcast Studio to lay myself over this to produce this video, but that's my primary Windows desktop. So when I mouse down here, you can see there's my little Playcast Cthulhu logo. And pop, this is my Playcast host application. So the Playcast host application is just an app that we built in order to help people understand what this new operating system can do. And this is just one application for it. And, I ran evangelism for media and DirectX APIs at Microsoft and media architectures, and promoted all the early streaming architectures that we use for video conferencing to this day. And it's a lot of work. It's really hard getting developers to adopt stuff. They're busy, they're poor, they got to make a living. So it's going here, try my new SDK for some crazy idea. It's too much work. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make a minimum viable product, an alpha demo that used our own little operating system technology to show what it can do for games and for streamers with zero adoption required. And that's just to make a big point that that's how freaking powerful this is we can make an application that just works with everything you already do with no adoption. And then if it gives you some new ideas about how you can create entirely new business models liberated from the constraints of existing channels and technologies, then we've done our job. So what I'm going to try to do is do a crude job of producing some demos, just showing you what this technology can do this evening. And we're going to start with the basics. So first off, there's the host UI. So what is this? There's 3 light bulbs, 2 on and 1 off. Well, this is the Playcast application or host application that's talking to that OS and all those drivers. And what's happening is it's pretending that it's like a web server. It's exposing those drivers' APIs out over the internet. So here is my shadow cam. And the shadow cam is a virtual web camera. See this camera here? See that camera there? Those are real cameras. They're physical. The one up here, the shadow cam, it's capturing my desktop. Let me see. Here we go. And it's virtual. Now, all of you streamers out there, if you're familiar with Open Broadcast Studio, works the same way. And looky here, Open Broadcast Studio integration. So this is actually using Open Broadcast Studio to deliver a stream. And I'm using Open Broadcast Studio right now to record this. I'll just start the Open Broadcast Studio virtual camera. And there I am. So look at this. Open Broadcast Studio integration with Playcast virtual cameras. All right, see? Isn't that wacky? Oh, cameras within cameras. I'm going to turn this off for a moment. All right, so there's the Open Broadcast Studio camera. Now this is the browser capture camera. That's really just used for testing because this is what all your crappy desktop sharing applications with existing video conferencing uses, what Chrome uses for its remote desktop sharing, and it's frickin' slow and clumsy. But it's what everybody uses, so we use it for testing. So just to show it's there for comparison. So these are the three virtual cameras that the Playcast application uses. The only one we're interested in right now is the Shadow Cam, because the Shadow Cam is the camera that knows about input. So usually when you're streaming, you have a camera that is aware of video, and it synchronizes the video with the audio. Well, the Shadow Cam is the first video conferencing stream that synchronizes the video with the audio with mouse, keyboard, and gamepad input in real time. Okay? So what that means is that I can use the Playcast host application to stream my desktop with sharing mouse, keyboard, and gamepad interactivity to any web page. So the drivers look like a web server to Chrome. So for example, if I go over here and see this button where it says Start, I'm going to start sharing my computer on the public internet. No cloud, just peer-to-peer. My computer is now a live web server on the public internet as soon as I hit this button. So for a little bit of security, not enough, we're working on it, it's an alpha, there's a cryptographic URL that is automatically generated uniquely to each of your machines. So I can say get link and share this URL right here in email or whatever, Slack in my case, with anybody I want to share it with. So all the lights are yellow. That means that everything is hooked up and running. I've selected my Shadow Cam, and over here is my Apple iPad running Safari. It's got no application from me on it because I don't want to deal with the Apple App Store, the Apple App Tax. I just want to run in a browser. So I have sent myself the URL here over to my iPad, and I'm going to see that URL I shared. I'm going to join it. Click. And there is my desktop. There is my desktop there. So here I am on my iPad. You can see a user appeared down here. And these users are anonymous because we don't want to deal with registering and paywalls and all the stuff to share stuff. We just want to be able to click and use it. So this is brilliantly secure. This is a Windows admin user account that I just shared on the public internet with a URL. So if you want to get your computer really messed up, you just share that way publicly and invite the world to come and use your PC. No, that's a terrible idea. We're going to secure that with admin login or with an authenticated account. However, if you share guest accounts in Windows, those are a lot more secure and safer to share publicly. But we just wanted to show the power of this capability, not how brilliantly dangerous we've enabled you to be with, or brilliantly reckless where we've enabled people to be. So what we've got here is global input settings and an anonymous user. So we just use a random HP Lovecraft character generator to generate random Lovecraft profiles because we're all huge nerds here and think HP Lovecraft's a hoot. So here is the input controls for this camera. So what's that mean? Well, you can see they're all off by default because if I share access to an admin account, I don't want people using it, right? Unless it's me. So I can go down here and give this user access to keyboard, gamepad, mouse, and keyboard, right? And now here I am on my, let me make sure, let me hide this out of the way so you can see what's going on. So my mouse is now able to move around. I'm going to go down here to the taskbar, open the Chrome browser on here. Let's hop up here, go up to my taskbar on the computer. Now, I'm on an iPad, mind you, just to be clear. Don't open that up, whatever that was. Oh, that's GitHub. Yeah, if you want a copy of the source code to the Playjector, that's the URL to use. All right, we're going to go youtube.com. There we go. And let me see. Let's go something really challenging. 4K 60 FPS video. It's a 4K display up there. Oh, Costa Rica. I love that one. Turned off the audio because we don't want to collide with this, but there we go. So let me see if you guys can see that. Demo and demo, but there I am streaming my live Windows desktop. Here, I'll move the camera so you can kind of... Now, the weird thing is, you're going to see the latency of the camera, not the latency of playcasting here. So there is my primary desktop playing the video at 4K, and there is the YouTube video playing real time. And you actually see a little lag there. That lag is actually the camera latency, not the playcasting latency. There's, of course, always some latency, but overall, there I am sharing my YouTube stream. Okay? Pretty basic so far. So think of it as just a remote desktop sharing application that is peer-to-peer and works better than any, and faster by about 10 to 100 times than any remote desktop sharing has ever done. And one of the ways it does that is by going peer-to-peer, and because of those very low-level Playcast drivers. Now, I'm just going to make one more point. Here's my Apple iPhone, and I'm just going to go and join that link too. And there's another user, and there's another desktop that I can interact with. I actually set the global input so I can control my desktop from here as well if I were that reckless. There we go. Oops, actually refresh the page. There I go, I'm back. So I can control my desktop from my phone if I wanted to too. And again, no applications required. It works on Android and works on Chromebooks and whatever else you want to try it on. Anything with a browser, frankly, that works. So all it is a remote desktop client, allows you to share your complete access to your computer or with user input permissions as a URL link, and multiple people can join the same URL and share it dramatically, and there is no cloud involved here. This is entirely peer-to-peer. So I've got about 32 gigabits a second of upload bandwidth from my home here in Seattle, and so I can serve about 6 to 12 720p video streams concurrently from this computer directly to anybody on the web. So web APIs straight to media drivers, and as a consequence, the entire Windows operating system, all your games, all your media, think that they're running on local hardware when it could actually be your iPad 1,000 miles away. So that's the neat trick. So we're going to now show you what you can use that for, other than just a fast as hell, really insecure remote desktop, which we're going to fix, by the way, just to be clear, but just showing you how powerful it is and how dangerous it is. Okay, so there it is shared. So I'm going to now cut another video and show you how it might be used for gaming. Thanks.